Hey, what's up you guys, it is Forge here and welcome back to another Minecraft mod review, and today we are going to be looking at the Tinker's Construct mod, and this is going to be part one of I don't know how many parts, but I'm going to be covering the basics of the Tinker's Construct mod today to help you guys get your Tinker's Construct smeltery going. So as always, if you guys do enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and let's get into it. So guys, when you spawn into the world, you will have this book called Materials and You, and Tinker's Construct is actually a very well documented mod in game. You can find out most of what this tutorial is going to cover in this book, but if you guys are a little unsure, I definitely recommend you guys check out the rest of this tutorial as well. But yeah, you should definitely take a read through this, and you can also craft this guy, the Materials and You book, in case you lose yours, with a book and a blank pattern. Now you may ask, what is a blank pattern? Well, a blank pattern is something that you're going to need quite a few of, but to craft this guy, well, to craft 4 of these guys, you're going to need any type of plank and 2 of those and 2 sticks, and place them like so, and you'll get 4 of these blank patterns. The next thing we have is the crafting station, and this is quite a useful block. It acts exactly like a crafting table, except it holds things in its inventory, so if you leave them in it and you exit, this stuff won't pop out onto the ground, and this is just crafted by putting a crafting table into any type of crafting window. Now I'm going to start showing you the items you guys need to actually start making all these cool tools in the Tinker's Construct mod. And the first thing you're going to need is the stencil table, and this is used for making the patterns to make the tools. I'll get a bit more into what all these blocks do in a second when I cover them all at once, because it's easier to cover them all at once. But this is essentially made with any type of plank. It will actually affect the way this guy looks though. The bottom legs of this, as you can see, are oak right now. You can get a spruce version, a dark oak version, etc., and a blank pattern also on top of that plank like so, and that will give you a stencil table. The next thing we have is an optional component, but I definitely recommend it, and that is the pattern chest, and this is made with a chest and a blank pattern. The next thing we have is the part builder, which is again made with any type of wood. This will affect the look of the part builder, and then a blank pattern on top. Then we have the part chest, again another optional component. This is for holding tool parts, and this is made with 2 sticks, any type of plank. This won't affect the look of it, a chest and a blank pattern. And then finally the tool station, which is made with a crafting table and a blank pattern. So as you can see here, I've got all these blocks set up like so, and there's no order necessarily needed for them to work together. It doesn't matter really, but I do recommend you have the pattern chest next to the stencil table and the part builder. The rest of it doesn't really matter. And also, as you can see, if you click into here, you can actually access all of them anyway, just from clicking on the little tab at the top. So we'll start in the stencil table, and for this we're going to need some blank patterns, and as you can see here, there's a bunch of things you can basically click over here, and these are patterns for tool parts, and these are all the different things you're going to need to make all the tools in the mod. But we'll start basic, and we'll just go ahead and make a pickaxe, which you're just going to need a pickaxe head for, a tool rod, and a binding for. And you can either keep these in your inventory and manually transfer them through, or you can place them into this pattern chest like so through just the window here. This is why I recommend you put them next to each other, or you can go ahead and place them in through like that, or you can just keep them on you. So the next thing we have is the part builder, and as you can see, it has a UI here, and the reason I recommend you put this next to the pattern chest is, as you can see here, we can access the guys in the pattern chest as well, or you can just drag and drop into here, and you're going to need some sort of material to make your parts basically for your tools. So if we go ahead and put cobblestone in here, there is another box here for some stuff, but it's not really used that often, this box isn't, and you can basically just click out your tool pattern here, and you can go ahead and just click in the next one here, which makes it a lot easier to utilize. And say you accidentally make 2 stone tool rods and you don't need them, the part chest can actually be used to store parts, and it can be used to store a large amount of parts. So instead of putting chests, you can store a large amount of tool parts in this part chest, which will be a much more effective use of your space. The next thing we're going to need to do is come over to this tool station. As you can see, there are a bunch of tabs over here to use, and the first tab is for repairing and modifying, which is something we'll get into later on. But as you can see, you can click on the different tools and it'll show you what you actually need, the components you need, and it'll give you a little description of the tool as you click on them. But basically, to make a pickaxe, as you can see, you need a tool rod, a pickaxe head, and a binding, and you can go ahead and just shift click these guys in, and they will stay in the table. As you can see, all of these guys have a little UI which pops up whenever you use them, which is really cool. And as you can see, it gets disarranged when you leave, but you can also also still craft it through there if you get them in the right spot. But you can also name these tools. So if I call this the pickaxe, it should be called the pickaxe when I make it. There you go, as you can see. And I pull it out, and as you can see, it's got 16 durability, it's got a mining level of iron. Stone's not the best material choice. It's got a mining speed of 4, an attack of 4, and modifiers 3. Modifiers I will get into later, as well as a few of these other stats when I go through tools. And this pickaxe does as you think it would. It acts as a pickaxe, and I will go over each of the tools that you guys can get from this mod in a different part of this mod review in a different video. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check that out if you want to know what all these tools do. And to repair pickaxes in this mod, you're going to need this thing called a sharpening kit. So if we make one of these and then select it in the part crafter, make it. So there you go, we have a stone sharpening kit. You need the type of sharpening kit of the material the pickaxe head is made out of. So the head of the material. I'll get more into that with the tools later and the materials. And we can repair this in any crafting window, or you can repair it in the tool forge as well. And you just put the two together and it completely restores its durability. So now we're going to get onto the smeltery, which is essentially used for upgrading your tools to better materials. And this is started off by making this stuff called grout. And there are two different recipes for this. They're exactly the same. They give you this exactly the same amount of stuff. It's just for ease of crafting. The first one gives you 8, and this is with a clay block, 4 gravel, and 4 sand or red sand. And the second one's for 2 grout, and this is with 1 clay, a gravel, and sand or red sand. And this grout is smelted in a furnace to give you a seared brick. And this seared brick then is used to make these seared bricks, which is part of the smeltery. These are the base block for the smeltery essentially, and these are made with 4 for 1 brick. And to craft the smaller size smeltery, you're only actually going to need 2 of these seared bricks, but I recommend you guys go to the next size up. So you're either going to need 17 or 18, and I will tell you guys why it's 17 or 18 in a second. But yeah, I definitely recommend you guys don't go for the 1x1 smeltery. I recommend you guys go for the 3x3, which is the one I'm going to be showing off in this video, which takes 17 or 18 of these bricks. So something you're definitely going to need in every one of your smelteries is the smeltery controller. This is the thing that essentially allows you to interact with the smeltery and basically melt down your ores and stuff. And this is made with 8 seared bricks in a ring like so. Another important part is the seared tank. This basically is the fuel source for the smeltery. It runs off lava. This guy can hold 4 buckets of lava or 4,000 millibuckets, and that will basically heat the smeltery and allow you to melt things down. And that is made with 8 seared bricks and a piece of glass in the center. The next thing we have is the sear drain, and this is basically the fluid in and output of the Tinker's Construct smeltery. It allows you to basically pour out or insert liquids into the smeltery, and this is made with 6 seared bricks. And the reason I say 17 or 18 of the seared bricks is because of these guys. These guys, I recommend you guys have 2 if you're going for a 3x3 smeltery, but you can also just have 1 of these guys, and it will be a little bit cheaper to run. But if it's 18, you only need 1 of these guys. If it's 17, you need 2. And to extract from these seared drains in the most base level, you're going to need these seared faucets, and you can place these on the seared drains, and I will show you how that works in a second. But these are made with 3 seared bricks like so. And basically we have 2 more blocks that go on the outside of the smeltery. These are the things that go at the other end of the seared drains and the seared faucets. And the first thing we have is the casting basin. This is made with 7 seared bricks like so. And basically you can pour the molten metals from the smeltery into here, and basically it will form blocks of it. So it will take 9 of them and form a block. So it's a quick way of extracting things from the smeltery. It also has other uses as well. And then we also have the casting table. This is used basically to make a lot of the tool parts from metal and stuff. And this guy is made with 7 seared bricks like so, in a N kind of shape, in the inverted shape to the casting basin. So for the smeltery I'm about to make, these are the exact numbers of blocks you're going to need. And I just want to add, you can have as many seared tanks and seared drains on your smeltery as you want. You can only have 1 smeltery controller though. So if we go ahead and fill in the bottom here, and that is a 3x3 of that, so that's 9 blocks. And then we can go ahead and place in a few more of these guys, and the seared tank can be placed down the smeltery controller, and this can be placed anywhere, and so can these seared drains, and so can pretty much any of these blocks. They can be placed in any configuration. There's no set way to do this. And then we place the seared faucets on the seared seared drains, and then we can go ahead and place these guys just below like so. You can also put a seared faucet on the side. This is what I mean by you don't necessarily need two of these. I just like to have it because that's just the way I've always done it, and essentially you can add another one like so, but if these guys aren't on the corner then you can't use both sides of it, obviously. And as you can see, this smeltery has now actually registered and it has 9 smelting slots within it. And as I said, you're going to need to fill the seared tank with lava like so. You can mine this with a pickaxe and it will actually retain the lava within it also. Now to use this smeltery, we're going to go ahead and basically click on here, as I said, with a right click on the smeltery controller, and this guy's really useful. He can actually be used to double the output of ore. So if I go ahead and throw 9 iron ore into here, normally you would get 9 iron out of this, but we can actually get 18 just by smelting it through this smeltery. But doubling ores isn't the only use of this smeltery. It is also used for making these casts and then casting metals into these casts. You can't use the regular patterns in the smeltery, you have to make these casts, and you can make 2 different types of casts. You can make the clay cast. This guy breaks after 1 use, so I don't recommend this guy unless you can't find any gold and you're hoping to get some Tinker's Construct going quite quickly and early. Or you can make the regular cast, which is just made with 2 gold, or you can make the clay cast, which is made with 2 clay essentially. And to make these guys, you're going to actually need some sort of tool part to actually pour the metal onto, and this will actually get consumed when you pour the metal onto it to make the cast, and I'll show you guys how this works in a second. So as you can see, this guy has all smelted down the iron. As you can see, it says 2 blocks, which is the equivalent to 18 iron, but we can also go ahead and throw in some gold and throw in some clay. You do have to be careful what you're throwing in the smeltery together because some stuff does mix, but luckily none of this does. So I definitely recommend you guys read the book and make sure you understand what mixing does, or check out the next part of this tutorial, which will come out at some point. So there you go. As you can see, we now have 3 different layers of materials in the smeltery, and also as you can see, some of the lava has actually been used, and the thing that's going to pour out of this smeltery is the thing that's on this bottom layer. So if I want to access this gold or this clay, how would I do that? Well, basically you just left click on the thing and it will drop it to the bottom. So what you can do is you can place this pickaxe head, any type of pickaxe head will do, it doesn't matter the material, and you can go ahead and just pour clay onto there, and as you can see, it's going to form a cast. As you can see in the one probe I have installed in the top left corner, it has a progress bar as well for how slow it takes, so it does take some time to harden. And as you can see now, we have a clay cast, and if we go ahead and throw that guy in there and drop the gold to the bottom of the smeltery, we can pour that onto there and get a regular normal cast like so. And just something I want to mention, you can store these guys in the pattern chest, but you can't store them in there at the same time as normal patterns, so I can actually now go ahead and throw these in there. And you also can't store the clay cast in there at the same time as you have the regular cast, so it's one type of cast to a pattern chest. And what this allows you to do now is essentially make metal headed casts. So if we go ahead and right click this onto the casting table, we can right click this, and as you can see, it will start pouring iron into there, and then it'll take a minute to harden. And now that it's been hardened, you'll see the clay cast actually got consumed, but we got the iron pickaxe head. If we go ahead and place the normal cast in, it will pour the iron in and go ahead and harden. It shouldn't take that long. There you go. And as you can see, the cast now hasn't actually been consumed, and we can now actually use this to make better tool parts. So we can use a iron head, which has a mining level of diamond. As you can see, it would have an increased durability, increased mining speed, etc. So as well as making a new pickaxe with this iron pickaxe head, you are actually able to switch out the parts on tools from previous tools that you've made. So if I go ahead and throw this and this into the tool forge, we can now make this with an iron pickaxe head, and it will actually take iron now to repair it, so you can no longer use the stone sharpening kits either to repair it. You can use these casting basins to empty out iron or any type of material that's in here into block form. I also want to mention, besides from extracting it with a block, say you don't have exactly a block left, we only have 5 ingots of iron. If I put some gold into here and go ahead and pour it onto this gold ingot like so, it will actually make an ingot cast like so. And as you can see, that gold was consumed, but now we can actually pour the iron out in ingot form into this ingot cast. Also, for things like emeralds and ender pills, you're going to need a gem cast, and that is made by pouring gold onto an emerald or an ender pill. It is also possible to make a nugget cast, which is made with nuggets. There's a plate cast. Obviously there are no plates in the base game, but if there are plates in your mod pack, then it is possible to make those, and also gears. And obviously, as you can see, we've made a gem cast. If we go ahead and select these emeralds here, we can go ahead and pour those into there and extract emeralds from the smeltery. If you break any block on the smeltery, there isn't the smeltery controller. As you can see, if I go ahead and break this block out, you'll see that it actually stops functioning as a smeltery and the liquid disappears. But if I go ahead and place that block, the liquid is actually retained within it. As you can see, there's still iron in it. But if I break the controller and replace it, it actually loses all of the iron in it. So just be careful when using your smeltery. And there are a few other parts of the smeltery, and one of them is the seared glass, and this is basically just a decorative block for seeing into the smeltery, and this is crafted with 1 glass and 4 seared bricks, and we can go ahead and place these guys on the smeltery like so, and it will count as part of the smeltery, and we can use it essentially as a window. So if we build up the rest of the sides of this, you'll see it counts as another layer of the smeltery, and we unlock that. The next thing we have is the seared gauge, and this is made with 5 glass like so and 4 seared bricks, and this essentially acts as a seared tank. It holds 4,000 millibuckets of lava, and we can go ahead and just replace that guy there, and as you can see, that counts as a fuel source right there. So that's another way of basically storing your fuel. And also we have the seared window, which essentially acts exactly the same. They're also decorative blocks for seeing into the smeltery, but this acts exactly like the seared gauge. It is made with 6 seared bricks and 3 glass, and as you can see, if we go ahead and place a seared window in that place, it also counts as a valid fuel source. And finally, for the smeltery at least, we have the casting channel, and this guy is basically like a pipe for liquids. It'll allow you to transfer liquids from the smeltery to other places, and this is made with 5 seared bricks like so, and I'll show you guys how this works now. So if I have an output here and we go ahead and place these casting channels like so, we can use them basically to turn corners, etc., and then we can place a valid block for extraction at the end. So as you can see, that is a valid block, the casting basin, and we can go ahead and start pouring the liquid through there, and essentially what it'll do is it'll channel basically the liquid through into the basin like so, and once this is full, they'll actually stop because they're not actually capable of storing any fluid. And the last thing I want to show you guys is this tool forge. This is the upgrade of the tool station, and this is made with 3 seared bricks, 4 blocks of iron or any type of ingot block. You can make them out of pig iron, night slime, all the different blocks from Tinker's Construct, and also gold, and a tool station like so. And the reason you'd make this guy, you don't actually need a tool station if you have this guy, is because it has the ability to make more tools, like the heavier tools, like the cleaver and the hammer and the excavator. Well, okay then guys, I hope you guys did find this tutorial useful, and I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next part. Bye bye.